Boy, does this look like a maze. But hello, everyone. Welcome to round number 6 of the 2017 NASA RallyCross Challenge season. We're at Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas, site of the Formula One U.S. Grand Prix. And boy, are we excited to have NASA RallyCross at the premier venue for open wheel racing in the United States. It's Josh Mertz bringing you the call, as always, for the Automotive Sports Network. As we're running through practice, we have a couple new things as we get to the format. I'll put this graphic up on screen, but it's the same exact thing as last week. 8 cars, 6, 4, 3, 8, 1 joker, except for the final. A couple new things. Casey Lester left V2RT after the shenanigans over the last couple weeks. He has joined Revolution Racing, so Revolution Racing has 2 cars again for the first time this season. Brandon Nicholson, the man from the Midwest, has made his debut this season in NASA RallyCross. He's literally driving his personal Subaru right now, as you can tell by the license plates. Put a roll cage in it, put some number plates on it. There you go. This track is very interesting. Philip Kraus, Chris Wetz, Casey Lester. This track's very interesting. Let's take a ride on board, shall we? So starting from the pit lane on board Philip Kraus. Strangely, timing and scoring listed this as his fastest lap, but we'll just have to ride on board and see. That's one of the Mitsubishis behind him. Into turn number 3, very tricky hairpin, right and left, over the jump. Very tricky jump as well, into a tricky second left-hand hairpin. Then this is very interesting. It's the right-hand dirt-banked corner, and it spits you back out on the asphalt. This is the back straightaway of Coda in reverse. Back onto the service road, and this is the split decision. After this right and left chicane, right side's the joker, left side's the regular course. Get your tires on the dirt to turn. Past the start finish line, normally it would end, but through the stadium section, the right. Normally this would be a left and a left, but you're onto the dirt, and that was a lap of Coda here in NASA RallyCross. Getting ready for the first quarter in Austin, Texas.
Good luck.
Wetz, Nicholson, Mertz, and Lester, green flag, and off the line at the start-finish line. Wetz gets it around the stadium section. It's going to be Wetz leading Mertz. This is Chris Wetz's home race. As he's from northern Texas, I do believe. We're in Austin. And finally, one of the main guys of the NASA RallyCross Challenge has a home race. Lester third, Nicholson in fourth. Over the jump and down to the second hairpin. Contact between Mertz and Wetz, and shove him out of the way and put Mertz through to the lead. Out of the dirt, on the asphalt, down to the service road hairpin. Wetz wants this quarterfinal win, but we'll have to see.
End of 181.
Through the infield, Mertz leads at the end of the first lap. Wetz is second. Third is Lester, and fourth is Nicholson. It's a very tricky layout. A very fun layout.
Joker is now allowed, by the way.
And these guys have been battling all season long, really all series long. And I say that every show, but the fact that these guys battle every single week is astounding. Looks like Wetz had a little bit of an issue in the hairpin there, 47.766. That lap time's kind of irrelevant because that was the first lap of the race, but we'll have to see. Coming to end the second lap, who will joker on the first opportunity? Mertz immediately does. Wetz does not.
End of 223.
Wetz will take the lead in car number 23. Following him is Mertz. Then it's Lester and Nicholson. Very tricky layout to get right. 47.022 for Wetz, 48.9. So it's about 2 seconds, the delta. Which is interesting, because that's not very big for a joker. We're coming across flags for Wetz in the 23. Still half a lap. Let's see if he will joker, or if Mertz is going to be stuck to catching him. This battle all season long. Wetz does not joker.
End of 323. Somebody count laps except for me. Where's my admin?
End of 320. I just said that. End of 323. Sorry, I was looking at something last lap.
And Mertz hits the wall in the 81. Way off the track goes Mertz. Pushing very hard. 46.083 to a 46.2 for Wetz. If we go back to the back of the field, Lester 51.2, Nicholson at 54.2. As these guys pushing hard, coming to 2 laps to go for Chris Wetz in car number 23. As the ebb and flow of NASA Rallycross is amazing. How one driver gets hot, another driver gets hot, Wetz jokers.
Joker 1, correct.
End of
There
5,
is the
green white
delta.
flag.
Okay, 10-4, sorry.
White flag.
That was end of 4.
Or end of 4, so I'm
2
sorry.
to go.
Are you drunk?
End of 4.
2 to go for
He's
Mertz.
not drunk, he's high.
As Wetz trying to take the fight. It was a 46.4 to a 48.2, so it's about a second, 1.8 seconds is the delta if we're looking between these guys. So that's the delta that you have to maintain. And interestingly, this is a game of strategy. There's no strategy left, so we just got to see if Wetz can take the fight to the 81 or if Mertz is going to run away with this quarterfinal win. Through the right-left
White
chicane.
flag.
81.
White flag for Mertz. 45.9 to a 46.1. 0.2 of a second faster was Mertz than Wetz. Lester and Nicholson back in the back. That order has not changed. And that's the gap. Nicholson having an issue in the Subaru. Remember, that's his personal car that they retrofitted Rallycross parts on. And Nicholson outbroke himself into that corner. Mertz holds the lead, and I think Wetz is going to be defeated at his home race. Plenty of fans showed up to see the Texan race, but I don't think he's going to be able to please the fans in the quarterfinal. Mertz will win the quarterfinal in Austin, Texas.
Checkers 81. Followed by the 23.
Lester and Nicholson, 3rd and 4th.
6 laps, Joker once.
Valley Kraus, Denice Livingood for the 2nd quarterfinal in Austin, Texas. Getting ready to go. Revving them up for another 6-lap race. And the winner transfers. Green flag off the line. Kraus gets the jump over Valley, nearly pushes him into the dirt. Then Denice 3rd, Livingood 4th. Rounding
Start is
the
good.
infield section of the road course as Valley v. Denice. Livingood nearly contact between them and put the Canadian to 4th as he nearly clips the 10.
Careful, 10.
Denice runs it wide, put Livingood to 3rd. No! Contact between them, shoved him off the track.
10, keep going, you're good.
Put him back to 4th as they swap positions.
You got shoved over
numerous
there, so it's
times.
not a big deal.
Valley, after the issues that he's had the last couple of weeks, 2nd in the quarterfinal right now. Of course, we're coming to end the first lap, so anything can happen. But Phil Kraus
End of 1,
continues
19 leads, Joker's
the
allowed.
momentum as he leads at the end of the first lap. 46.669 to a 48.1. These guys are battling for 3rd. Dylan Livingood and Doug Denice both ran a 53-second lap time as Livingood all over the track in the 51 and loops it. So take him out of it. Denice in 3rd. Valley
Give it time.
10-4.
holds 2nd. Kraus looks like he cut the track. He did give up a little bit of time. But the Canadians certainly trying to hold this podium streak. 4 in a row so far. We haven't seen that in a while. But
End of 2, 19 leads.
the momentum is certainly on Kraus's side. He only has 1 point to make up on Chris Wetz. And it's going to be interesting to see if he can do that. But the performance is definitely there for the Canadian. Valley still 2nd. Denice 3rd, and Livingood struggling in the 4th position. There's 2 win stickers so far on car number 19. Erdman has won once, Wetz has won once, and Mertz has won once. So the only multi-time winner this season, Phil Kraus. And interestingly, he probably could have won 2 weeks ago, in Milwaukee, when
End of 3, 19 leads, white,
He had
or cross flags,
contact-
excuse me, cross flags.
contact with Mertz over the jump in the final. He could have made it 3 in a row. but certainly a record being set for podiums. Valley still second. Running order has not changed. As next season, it's going to be extremely interesting. I believe we are ditching the 6-speed boxes once again. We're going to go back to 4-speed boxes for 2017C. They're going to be heavier cars. So they're going to be 4 speeds, they're going to be faster, they're going to be heavier than the previous generation. So Generation 3 is what they're being called.
And 4 19 leads.
It's going to be interesting to see. When the regulations change, everyone, of course, has to adapt. And whoever adapts quickest, this is the most redundant statement ever, but the man to adjust the fastest
24.
is typically going to win most of the races. But if we can go off of history being any indication, of course, Erdman, Mertz, Wetz. I'd say even Kraus now. Kraus is becoming one of the faster guys in NASA Rallycross, so you've got those 4 guys that will be able to adapt to the regulations the best. But it's going to be interesting. I don't know if Erdman's going to race next season. He's been certainly very iffy with his races. Kraus Jokers. We haven't even been talking about strategy. Kraus Jokers in the 19. Second place.
End of 5, 19 leads, white flag.
But Erdman has increasing commitments with his late model Slinger Super Speedway, so I'm not sure if he's going to be able to make more races next season. We'll definitely not make 3 in a row this season. He's way down on points. I believe he's 8th or 9th in points. As he ran in Britain, he got 2 provisionals in the Netherlands and Canada. He won in Milwaukee. He got a provisional
Blue
last
flag
week
to the
in
51.
My mirror is currently turned off, so
Kraus coming up on Livingood, who gets the blue flag, but the 19 will round the final chicane and win the second quarterfinal.
Checkered flag, quarterfinal 2 goes to the 19. 51 will finish 4th. 24 will finish 2nd.
got my back.
And the nice third. Wetz, Nicholson, Lester. Green flag. Off the line. The stock Subaru is going to nearly beat the Mitsubishi into turn 1, but it was not to be, as he's sandwiched by the Revolution Racing teammates of Wetz and Lester onto the dirt for the first time. Let's see if Casey Lester gets rejuvenated with this manufacturer equipment. It is awesome to see him finally get a proper manufacturer entry. As yes, the Honda was, but it was a developmental program. It's brand new. Revolution Racing, it's been around for 6 years. 5 to 6 years. So, I mean, you have that development already designed in your program. And it is fascinating to see. Chris Wetz, off the final corner, leads at the end of the first lap in the semifinal. His teammate second.
End of
Nicholson
1,
third.
Jokers allowed, 23
End of 123. Got it, Josh?
I got it.
As the stock Subaru of Brandon Nicholson running into a problem in that little chicane there, ran it wide, but the teammates are pulling away from him. 49.340 for Lester, 47.272 for Wetz. Around the second hairpin. As what's interesting to see, this track was deemed to be too short for these cars. That's why they had to get rid, that's why they added all that section off in the field. Because there was not a lot of room for these cars to run. Cross flags for
End of
Wetz,
2,
Lester
23
Joker.
leads.
And the man who holds the red plate in car number 23.
Damn it, third's gone.
Lester blue third in car number 22, and you can see on his telemetry goes from second to fourth or from fourth to second. Very painful to shift through those gears. As depending on the car, depending on the driver, typically it is all one, either sequential or H pattern. But with these cars, the transmissions can be designed whether it's sequential or H pattern. So, for example, Philip Kraus and Josh Mertz, they have equal driving talent when it comes to locking up the rear brakes and drifting the car. Because there's no handbrakes in these cars, you'd think, but not with these. It's really weird. But Kraus and Mertz prefer the H pattern box to where they can go from second
End
to
of
fourth
3,
to
23 leads, white flag.
6th to 4th to second, rather, lock up the rear brakes and slide the car. But Casey Lester has a sequential gearbox. So whereas Mertz can go first, second, fourth, like Kraus, Lester has to go first, second, third, fifth, for example, if they blew fourth gear. So that's the most painful part of these transmissions. And rumor is in a couple seasons the regulations will change again, always planning down the line. I believe 2018B, so right around next year, all cars will be mandated four-wheel drive, four-cylinder turbos, and sequential six-speed boxes. But right now, we still have Gen 3 to go through, which is going to be changed for next season. But aside from that, Wetz wins the semifinal.
Checkered flag, winning the first semifinal is the 23.
Lester second, Nicholson third. Getting ready for the second semifinal, Valley, Denice, and Livingood. Green flag off the line. Livingood has the bumper to Denice, but I don't think he'll be able to make anything of it. Contact nearly between Livingood and Valley. Way off the track was Denice. Into the wall goes Livingood, and into Denice.
Red flag. 51.
Ooh.
Doug, talk to us.
We've lost Doug Denice.
Give me a second.
He's dead.
Both you guys grid up. Give me a second. Sorry,
This
Does that
nipple
mean
literally
he's
stuck
too
on the
far
wall.
back?
I got hit down into that inside wall, so.
Nobody touched you.
Nah, Victor. Dylan's gonna be
Did my
starting
car
from
stay
Indy.
here for realism?
Hold on, give me a second. I'm reading the rulebook.
Okay.
So the 10 or the 24 and the 51 are supposed to line up. But give me a second.
Well, we here at CODA, Dylan lining up at fucking IRP after all of these incidents.
No, I think he's gonna line up in
Monaco.
England. No, he's gonna line up in England now.
Gonna line up in Aspen.
No, he's totally lining up in Budapest in 2014.
Okay. Unfortunately, Doug, I cannot let you restart. But if the 51 causes another red flag tonight, they will be parked for the night.
Oh no.
So, should I get out of car or leave it here because realism and don't want to match?
Do whatever you want. 4 laps.
You should
shorter
leave it
ones.
there, Doug.
I got a good view, so I'm gonna stay
Are you
here.
stuck, Doug?
Yeah. My car is running.
Really?
Like,
You're,
I
I stuck you, Doug, really?
Yeah.
Can I move up?
Yeah, I'm stuck.
You're fine. Move
Admins,
up.
can I move up?
Move up.
Tow truck's just taking a while to get there.
Well, here's the thing. I can't tow
How
truck.
far can I move up?
Up to there.
You see, if we had the doctor car, this wouldn't be a problem.
Unless we can run a vote and let the 10 reset because he's stuck in the fence, but his car's still running.
Sure.
Unless we're racing now.
Oh.
He's not able to get back and repair it though.
No, well, the race is going now because nobody talked to me, so.
So interestingly, as they were discussing how to go about potentially penalizing the 51, race control started the race. So Livingood apparently is a little bit intoxicated. If you couldn't tell by his driving, I'm not really sure how he got by the drug test for today's race, but unfortunately, I have a little bit of a personal problem for car number 51. So realistically, this is Victor Valley's race. So
End of 1, 24 leads, jokers allowed.
He's got 3 laps. As this gives us an opportunity to discuss next season in the NASA RallyCross Challenge. As the season schedule is being worked on. NASA RallyCross typically doesn't announce the schedule early. But between you and me, we'll go over the schedule for 2017B, as clearly we have nothing else better to do as Victor Valley is running practice laps. So we were supposed to go back to Croft for next season opener, but there's been ongoing customs issues, and yes, we're like a month down the line, but there's been ongoing customs issues with getting this track running. So tentatively, it is the season opener, but it might be canned, potentially moved to the last race. We'll have to see.
End of 2, 24 leads, halfway home.
So Valgenswaard opens the schedule. Then we go to St. Eustache, back to Milwaukee, and then we go to Lakewood at the South Course, then Negus, then Lakewood North, back to Irwindale, which has been a nice change. We're going back to Seattle. And then Vancouver. And like I said, Croft is either opening or closing the season. We'll have to see. As we're supposed to go to Pikes Peak. On the schedule here, it's listed as the Proving Grounds North. I'm not sure if Pikes Peak is in
You got it,
contract,
Doug. You got it, Mikey. You got it.
but tentatively, it's listed as Pikes Peak /
Into 324 white flag.
as Indianapolis has been dropped from the schedule already after the interesting race that we had last week. White flag in the semifinal, back to the race that we haven't been paying attention to, as Victor Valley has ran his own race after Dylan Livingood parked Doug Denice on the tire barrier. As in that little intermission, Mertz was going on in the rule book in race control, trying to read if there's anything about red flags. Livingood is only allowed one more red flag. My mic decides to cut out. Sorry about that, guys. One more red flag, otherwise he gets parked. So it's going to be interesting to see. But Valley will win the semifinal.
Checkered flag, 24 wins semifinal B.
I had no second gear that entire time.
I know.
As the semifinals were very straightforward here in Austin, Texas, as Chris Wetz was able to beat his teammate in the first semifinal, and Victor Valley beat Dylan Livingood after Livingood, in his intoxicated state, put Doug Denice onto the tire wall. So very simple semifinal races, and it's on to the LCQ. Getting ready for the LCQ. LCQ in Austin, Texas. It's Lester, Nicholson, Livingood, and Denice. Green flag.
Oh shit.
Off the line.
Start is
Contact
good.
with Nicholson and Denice.
I have no mirror.
Warning, track limits 51.
No issue there. Now, the second Revolution Racing car at Casey Lester will lead us.
Oh,
Followed by
fuck.
Livingood, who checks Denice in the 10 and spins and sends Denice in the wall again. Nicholson in 8th.
Son of a bitch.
And Nicholson loops it in the 92. So
Blue 5th and 6th.
Livingood only has four gears, as he just blew 5th and 6th in his gearbox.
End
Lester
of 1, 22 leads, Joker is allowed.
pulling away in the 22. And it's a fight for the transfer spot. As another MRT car this week in the LCQ, Livingood closes the door on Denice, nearly makes contact with him. And through the chicane, into the wall goes the 51, into the wall goes the 10. Contact nearly between them when they came off the wall. And rounding the first hairpin. Over the jump. And Lester holds the lead at 48.663. Let's see if he will joker on the second lap of the race coming to the white flag. Rounding the asphalt hairpin. Jokering
End
is
of
Lester.
2, 22 leads, white flag.
Very slow to exit the joker. Livingood in second. Denice is in third. Nicholson in fourth. Remember, that's 7th and 8th overall. As looking at the drivers that are already transferred, Denice is around. This will give Denice, if he can hold this spot, he will win in privateers today in Austin, Texas. As Mertz, Wetz, Kraus, and Valley, all constructor cars in the final. So privateers are 7th and 8th and 1st and 2nd in their respective championship.
Oh my god, dude.
As Nicholson loops it again,
Checkered
Casey
flag,
Lester
22 wins the LCQ.
will win the LCQ. Transferring will
Followed
be
by the
Livingood
51 who transfers.
in the 51.
Holy shit.
10 is best of the rest, winning privateers.
Nicholson fourth,
I'm in the final?
second in privateers.
Yep.
Well, one of them
They're
has to
claiming the
take
red
penalty.
flags. 8
I'm
laps,
claiming
Joker
the red flag,
twice.
so
Mertz,
good luck, guys.
Kraus, Wetz, Valley, Living Good, Lester. Getting ready to go for the Austin Grand Prix. Green flag. Kraus is sandwiched between Mertz and Wetz into turn 1. Mertz is battling Kraus, shoves him wide a little bit. Valley's going to try and take the fight to him, nearly in contact with him again. Kraus is second. Living Good sliding in 6th. 3rd, Valley. 4th, Wetz. 5th, Lester. So Mertz will lead us over the jump. Valley holds 3rd. And these two battling to the death into the 2nd hairpin. Out of the 2nd hairpin into the banked corner. It's going to be interesting to see what'll happen as Mertz holds the lead. Kraus second.
End of
Remember,
181.
no jokers on the first lap of the race. Valley in 3rd, hounded by Wetz, the hometown favorite. But Mertz 46.912, Kraus 47.643. Pulling away from Valley, who ran a 48.9, then Wetz is 4th. Looks like Living Good has looped it. He is way back behind these guys in 6th. As Kraus hopes to try and make it 2 wins in a row. But Mertz is going to try and think better
End of
of it.
219.
As Mertz jokers on the 2nd lap of the race, Kraus takes the lead in the 19. Wetz, 3rd.
Or you have some time for
Valley
cutting,
4th.
and Joker just a teeny bit.
Lester 5th. And Living Good. Damage to the back of the Subaru. In car number 51, he's in 6th.
51 is done. Has succumbed to mechanical damage.
As Mertz got close in that first hairpin, but I don't think he's going to be able to do anything yet. Living Good has parked the car in 6th. He is stumbling out of car number 51. I don't know how he was able to. He was cleared to race today.
What lap are we on?
Nicholson's got it. You don't have to do it.
End of 319.
Kraus holds the lead at the end of the 3rd lap. Mertz jokers. This is fascinating between these guys. 45.743. Mertz jokered at a 47.6. So it's a 2-second delta
Sorry, but
to
that was
Joker.
major cuttage.
Did I?
19, yeah.
I slowed down.
It's under review.
I slowed down at the hairpin.
It is under review. I am reviewing it.
19's fine. I don't need you making calls when you're intoxicated.
Kraus leads still. Mertz being race control from the car, telling Living Good you can't make calls in your current state. 3rd is Valley. They are battling for the
19's
podium
fine,
spot.
just a warning.
Battling for the podium
End of
spot.
419.
Kraus jokers at the end of lap 4. Cross flags. This is fascinating between these guys. 46.370 to Kraus a 48.6. So it is 2 seconds. I think Kraus didn't get a good entry through the joker. We'll go on board car number 81 just to see how fascinating this battle is. Out of the first hairpin, over the dirt. And you can brake so late into this corner. Hook the curb to get it to turn. Through the dirt. Pushing ever so hard is Mertz in car number 81, trying to take the fight to Kraus.
End of
Around
519.
right, around the left. 3 to go for Philip Kraus in car number 19. 46.003 to a 45.4. Philip Kraus was half a second faster than Mertz. It doesn't look that way. 3rd place is Valley. 4th is Wetz. I don't think Wetz will be on the podium at his home race today. Lester in 4th, or 5th, sorry. Kraus ran it wide in the 19 in the first hairpin, but Mertz did as well. Didn't get very good traction under acceleration. Into the 2nd hairpin. Let's see what Kraus can do. Into the dirt, the bank corner, down the straightaway. Kraus holds the lead. I don't think Kraus has a joker left. I don't think
End
Mertz
of
has a joker left.
619.
2 to go for Kraus. 45.8 to a 45.6. Mertz is coming. He's still 2 seconds, 2/10 slower than Kraus's fastest lap, but the 81 is flying, trying to get to the back of the 19.
19, you're warping.
Transponder issues on car number 19. I don't know if this is going to play into the hands of Mertz, but I don't know. Philip Kraus has disappeared from my timing screen. And he is all over the place in the 19 on the timing screen. So Mertz in second tentatively. Where is
That was
Kraus? He
warp.
disappeared. And Kraus is back and he's around!
Yeah, he just popped up.
And Kraus gets turned
White
by
flag,
Mertz.
81.
Yeah, there was nothing I could do there.
10-4, yeah, no penalty.
White flag for Mertz.
Racing deal, game deal.
And Kraus gets put to second. Third is Valley. Wetz is battling hard for fourth, trying to get on the podium in his home race. I don't think it's going to happen, though. I think Mertz has another joker left, I do believe. But we'll have to see. Through the dirt. Rounding the dirt hairpin.
This the white flag?
Yes, sir.
Coming to the checkered. Mertz took
Checker
the lead
flag, 81.
after that contact. Mertz
Second to
wins
19.
in Austin, Texas. Battling for the podium spot. Kraus will come home second. Battling for the podium spot
Third
at
to
home. It's
24.
going to be Valley v. Wetz.
Fourth to 23.
Into the final corner.
Holy
Valley
shit.
third. Fourth
Yeah, so
Wetz.
that
Fifth
was
Lester.
hard lag.
And sixth is living good.
What did you get third?
Fifth,
Victor?
22nd, 22.
Breathe, dude.
I feel bad for Wets because I was holding him up like shit, but god damn it, I wanted it.
Win number 26 for Mertz in his second this season, and it's the first win at the new venue in Austin, Texas. As the contact between those guys, it was transponder related. Obviously, no penalty was called, but even with that incident, Philip Kraus is your new red plate holder going into Canyon City and Negus next week by 2 points over Chris Wetz. So the new venues are taken care of for a couple weeks. We're going to Canyon City and Lakewood. Then we're going up to Evergreen Speedway. So we got a couple weeks of normalcy, and then it's back to new. But I hope you enjoyed today's coverage of the Texas RallyCross Grand Prix on Automotive Sports Network. We hope to see you next week in Canyon City. But until then, so long, everyone.